Good morning. We warmly welcome you to this very special event, to the Mission Enterprise Final Pitch event. We are pleased to introduce Dr. Maria del Carmen Contillo Escondria, director of this school, who will deliver welcoming remarks.
Good morning, everybody. It's an honor to be here with you all. I welcome the representatives from the partner universities, Stuttgart Media University, University Politécnica Bucarest, Sapir College Ashkelon, and of course, UNAM. The project manager here, the academics who have accompanied and supported the students. Thank you very much for your invaluable time and effort. Members of the jury, Maestra Jessica González Ceja from Innova UNAM, project manager. Mr. Brendan David Rowlands, former manager at SC Johnson. Dr. Javier Noé Ávila Cedillo from Facultad de Ingeniería UNAM. And Dr. Orlando Zenón Solís from the Facultad de Medicina at UNAM. Dear students and now entrepreneurs, thank you all for being here. I would like to thank, first of all, Baden-Württemberg Stiftung for supporting the project and providing the necessary funds for this to happen. Thanks to them, you can be here today. It is a pleasure to finally meet you all. I have heard very positive comments about your projects, your work, and your experiences in Germany last year. I'm sure that you have lived during these past months, either in person and online, amazing and rich learning encounters full of memorable discussions. During the development of the different projects, you will also have the opportunity to learn from each other. Probably, one of the great assets of this kind of projects is the intercultural experience. Working collaboratively with people from different languages and cultures opens the possibility to develop additional skills such as nonverbal communication, tolerance, flexibility, active listening, empathy, and conflict solution, just to name a few. It is the most probable that the original idea, the first draft of that initial proposal that each of the teams conceived no longer exists, or if it does, it has substantially changed. You should all feel very proud of yourselves and of your own work. As you know, the history behind all this began a few years ago before the pandemic took over. At that moment, you chose to embrace the challenge of being part of this project and to embark in this great adventure. With that first idea in mind, you were quite capable of identifying an area for improvement and find ways to make it work in favor of others for a social benefit. This is very rewarding. You will be the best witnesses that these proposals can develop and can become a reality. Yesterday, you witnessed how various startup projects were born, how ideas developed into plans, and finally, how objectives were met. Through the different presentations, you were able to visualize and understand the complexity of being an entrepreneur. I'm sure that these presentations changed your perspectives and inspired you to make your project work and to be successful. To conclude, I will quote the words of a very important business leader, Herman Cain. He says, "Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful." I wish you all the best in your presentations. Remember that you are already winners. Do your best, relax, and enjoy the moment. The floor is yours. Let's start. Thank you all.
A warm welcome to all. Today is the big day. Today, we will see 7 not only international, but interprofessional teams come to fruition. Each of these teams will present their startups, which they have been developing over the course of a year. All this through the big project Mission Enterprise, which is the reason why we are here today. Mission Enterprise was created in 2019 in the Startup Center of the Stuttgart Media University with a very clear goal in mind: to create an international network of universities focusing on entrepreneurship. To achieve this, regular seasonal schools were offered to exchange expertise, knowledge, and experience in one of the 4 partner universities: the Stuttgart Media University in Germany, the University Politécnica of Bucarest in Romania, the Sapir College de Israel in Israel, and the National Autonomous University of Mexico. In the cycle 2022 to 2023, the host universities were the Stuttgart Media University and the National Autonomous University of Mexico through the National School for Languages, Linguistics, and Translation. It should be noted that this would not be possible without the generous support of the Baden-Württemberg Foundation, whose funds are used to support the development of the project's content and the participation of students and academics on both remote and face-to-face events. In accordance with the objectives of the Baden-Württemberg Stiftung, the teams attending this event will present an entrepreneurial project with a social impact. They are also projects that foster responsible interactions with our fellow human beings and that make our planet a place worth living in. Now, it is essential to define the event's organization and structure. As already mentioned, there will be 7 teams taking part today. Each team will have 8 minutes to pitch their project. Afterward, there will be approximately 12 minutes for the question round by the jury. It is worth mentioning that the questions will be answered one by one. For our viewers on YouTube, we encourage you to leave your comments and questions through the live chat on the YouTube broadcast. Okay, then once the team has presented and answered the questions, the next team has to get ready and prepare everything necessary for their own presentation. Allow us to meet the distinguished members of today's jury. Dr. Maria del Carmen Contillo Quescontria, Director of the National School for Languages, Linguistics, and Translation. Master of Economics, Jessica Gonzalez Ceja, Coordinator of the Innova UNAM System. Dr. Javier Noé Ávila Cedillo from the Innova UNAM Business Incubation Unit in the Engineering Unit. Dr. Orlando Cerón Solís from the Innova UNAM Business Incubation Unit in the Medicine Unit. And MBA Brendan David Rowlands Kershaw. Let's meet the first team. This team is named after one of the most representative Mexican dishes, taco. Victoria Naumann, Shir Yehudain, and Fatima Garcia present the project Parent All. Let's give it up for Team Taco.
Okay, so hello everybody, we are Team Taco, and we are so excited to be in here. So this is such a great opportunity for us. So I want to start with a quick game, so please raise your hand with the 5 fingers up. Thank you. Now, if any of my statements going to appeal to you, please put your finger down, okay? So the first question is, do you ever put your finger down if your both of parents are still together? put your finger down if you grew up with a father figure in your house. Okay? Put your finger down if you ever needed to pay the bills with your parents to help them. Put a finger down if you if you know a single parent. And now the last question, put a finger down if you have ever felt responsible of your parent emotions. Now look around. And I'm inviting Vicky to tell her story.
Yeah, thank you so much. So as you can see, I think we all come from very different family situations. And I wanted to tell you a bit more about mine. So I grew up in a very, very supportive household with both of my parents supporting me and yeah, dedicating a lot of time to me. But when I was about 12 to 13 years old, they divorced and my situation at home changed completely. So from coming home to a space of development, I came home to a space of hurt and exhaustment. So yeah, and I stayed with my mom and my dad needed to go. Yeah, and from that moment, my mom was alone, but she even though wanted to give me the best she could. And so she started working next to her job to other jobs. And I could really feel the hurt and the suffering. And I saw many single parents and I really experienced that this is a topic that's so not discussed, I would say. And society puts very much pressure on single parents and being a single parent because you have to
make it all on yourself, double job, double things to do, double responsibility.
Yeah, and so this is why we came up with our idea. Sorry. And I wanted to say, so I'm not the only one who is who experienced a divorce. We can see in Germany about 40% of all marriages end up being divorced. Also very shocking was Spain with 85% of all marriages. This is from 2020, and here in Mexico it's currently 27. So quite good, I would say, but not perfect. And yeah,
that's how we came up with the idea Parental, which is an app, but also a space that would support and help parents start a new chapter in their lives. And for example, here we have Elena Martinez. She's part of the 27% of Mexico divorce rate, and she also happens to be a single mother. Now, we might face a challenge with her because she maybe doesn't want to date at all after her divorce. But once we're successful, her profile will look exactly like this. So Elena should share some basic information about herself, some interests, and how many children she has. So she's ready to look for a new partner. Once this new partner comes up, it would look like this. So it's a match. Next one. And if this match is successful, eventually they will probably go on a date and they will need a babysitter. So Parental offers that service as well. And at the same time, we know they struggle, and we provide as well psychological assist. And also they can join group chats in which they can talk to other single parents about topics regarding kids.
Yeah, and our biggest USP is that we have dating, babysitting service, and psychological help, so perfectly customized for a single parent. Everything combined, so free in one in our app, and this is our unique selling point, which also divides us from our
other competitors.
Yes, our other competitors, because there is no competitor currently on the market that is serving our niche with all. Yes, and so we did this SWOT analysis and wanted to share with you very quickly the opportunities, because we thought this is very life-changing. we wanted through our app to have an impact on changing the negative perception of being a single parent. And also we wanted to create a community where people feel a sense of belonging together and can share the same pain. So our goal is to create a new generation of happier and an efficient society by supporting single parents, because as you see, happier parents, happier children.
Our app is free, parental is free, the dating is free, but we also offer 3 different packages, which is silver, gold, and diamond. Again, it's free for the dating, but we also offer the other services. The first one would be silver by $15 cost, and we will be with a 15-minute therapy session per week and 10% off if you hire a babysitter. For the gold, it's basically the same, but instead of 35-minute therapy session and 30% off when you hire a babysitter. And for the diamond one, it's 1 hour per week for the therapy and 50% off when you hire a babysitter.
So how are we gonna earn some money from this project? So as a start, we are going to in-app advertisement. We're going to get monthly payment by users, and the babysitter will be required to pay $15 as a one payment, and we are going to earn 10% of babysitting payment and 50% of freelance therapy. So I'm going to talk about our MVP. At first, we are going to train our psychologists, and it's going to 2-hour application. It's going to cost us 10Ks. We are going to even train our babysitters in a different way to work in our application, and it's going to cost us 5Ks. Even in the social media, we're going to divide our payment. We're going to say to pay to the social manager, to 3 influencers, and 1 editor. And this is our MVP. It's going to cost us like 60K seed capital. So we are Team Tackle. I'm Shiri Udain,
Victoria Nolman,
and Fatima Garcia.
So our impact is to be to make a happier parents and happier children, what create a new generation, and will create a new society. And we are
Parental, and we are a single click away.
I forgot.
Thank you very much, Team Taco, for this very interesting presentation. Now let's hear what our judges have to say about it.
If you are divorced, so we are focusing on single parents and even divorced one. So you can be any person. You just need to be a single parent or divorced one, and this is how you will be accepted to our app.
That's the only requirement?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Congratulations for the presentation. And I would like to ask you, what will be the security measures you are gonna take into account for the babysitting service, for example? How will you be sure that the people that provides that service will be trusty and
so actually, we are going
to
to do a training to the babysitters. It's going to be like 6 days, 6 hours in one day, and we are going to meet them personally and go for a verification And when they are verified, then they can get inside to our app. And also they need to pay $50 just to be a part of it. So this is how we go on to verify it. But also I can say that we can never really know the really risk, because we are persons and everything is dynamic. So we are making sure that we can do the maximum verification, and we hope it will be okay.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you for your presentation. It was very interesting. My question is, how do you make sure the people who enroll are divorced or single parents? How do you know that? What sort of information do they need to supply?
I guess this is a very interesting topic, as if you compare it to Tinder, you also never know if people are in a relationship or not. So I guess this is based on trust, because we cannot force them to like give them their divorce papers, you know. So this is kind of trust based, as every dating app currently is.
Okay, and my other question was, your payments are monthly or one payment?
About the budget
No, for the people who
for
subscribe.
the packages,
Yes.
yes, it's a retainer monthly.
Okay, I thought one. Okay, thank you.
It is a great project. It is a great idea. How would you validate your value proposal? How would you validate this this very major value proposal that you have, and how would it be the challenges that you're going to face to validate it? Could you please tell me?
Okay, so for our budget, we thought the first thing we need to set up is, of course, the app, and we calculated it. There are a few ways to do it, and we calculated that we need at least 19,000 for our app, for developers, for the environment, for to put it on Play Store, App Store, and so this would be 20K. Then we also thought, like I would need to have the slide again, but we needed to pay, of course, our social media manager. We need to do babysitters, psychologists, but of course, like we need to advertise, and of course, we wanted to work with influencers, as you know, they are outside those mommy groups on Instagram, and every like single parents are there and they're looking for help, and we think this is a good investment. So they're also pretty expensive. And also we thought about ourselves, because we need a bit to survive, you know. So we calculated free salaries, and yeah, this is how we came up with 60K.
And how would you know that there is a validation there? How would you know that the rate of validation is correct? And how would you know what indicators demonstrates that the product has to be in the market?
Because we know when we search the market, and we understand that there is nothing for parents that including 3 needs in one app, like the babysitter, for free time. Single parents need free time, and they can't do it because they are single, and we need to wait, and we're going to wow. So we know, okay, so it's 3 needs in one app. So we don't have competitors in our direct competitors in our market, and we only need we only have 3 competitors in the indirect. So there are Tinder, Bumble, OkCupid, something like this, and it's also only serving dating, and they are focusing on single but not single parents. So I think it will be very valuable to us, specific here in Mexico. We see it like the MVP. We wanted to make it in Mexico, and if it go good, we will spread it out globally.
I have another question. First of all, thank you. How many users do you need to have like a balance point in the incomes and the outcomes? What is like the projection that you have?
It's a good question. I can say approximately maybe 5,000 new users. This is will be our valid point.
Do you think it's do you think you can achieve that?
Definitely, because social media, social media is life-changing if we work with influencers. And I saw those stream groups where mothers come together and they're just sharing all of their secrets, and there are a lot of them. So I guess through social media, it's definitely possible.
And also we saw that there's a high percentage of divorces and single parents in all over the world. And here in Mexico, it's 27.8. But we know that in Spain, it's 85%. It's shocking thing. And we know if it will work here through all the consequences in Mexico, it will work in other countries.
Okay. I have a complementary question. Do you know what is the cost of acquisition regarding the percentages that you have? I mean, in Spain, you have 80% of persons divorced, right? And in Mexico, 27. Where would it be more expensive, the cost of acquisition of a client, where you have 85 or where you have 27?
Probably here in Mexico because we have lower salary. So it would be like a threat.
But in the 85, you have a major market.
That is true.
So maybe on Spain.
Yeah, I would recommend you to start where you have a major market and to test it there.
The problem is that we wanted to focus on Mexico because we didn't know the Spain market. We have Mexicans in our team and we've been here, so that's why we choose Mexico to start, even also because of the salary. We could not do it in Germany. We could not start in Germany because there's so much you need to be aware of when starting in Germany. So that's why we decided for Mexico.
And also in Israel, you have a lot of competitors in different things that they suggest. But it's a really rough market, so this is why we chose to focus in Mexico.
You develop it in Mexico also, or you will develop
it can be hybrid. Can be hybrid. The best payment we can take, and the best developer. So it can be anybody or from anywhere, but at least it's coming to our criteria.
Final one. What would it be the major asset of your technology? I mean, what is the most valuable thing in your technology?
I guess the match function, because this is like the main thing. If people don't match, this is our main function to connect them again. So yeah.
In my opinion, and we are different people, so it's okay. In my opinion, our valuable thing will be the chat, because when you want to go to the therapy, it costs a lot, and it costs a lot, not just money, a lot of time. And if you have a chat, you can post and send a message, anonymous message, and get mutual advice from a lot of people, and also the therapists themselves going to be inside the chat. It's like open chat. So I think this will be the most valuable thing in our app, in our technology, because it's like do it easier to asking for help, to feel the loneliness and fulfill from this. So.
Okay, great product. Congratulations.
Thank you, Team Taco. We also have a couple of comments from viewers on YouTube. The first one says, it's from Sagi Sada. It says, let's go, Sapir, and a heart emoji. And the second one from Michael Yutz, it says, nice slogan for Team Taco. Okay, the next team is named after a very typical Romanian dessert, papanash. Alisa Hanis and Aldo Trejo share with us their project back to back. Please go ahead.
We usually say that children are the future of society and they will solve the problems that we will face in the future. But the thing is that the actual education is having more problems than before. So we are actually facing more problems than in past years. So according to UNICEF, just here in Mexico, we have many problems, but they are essentially mentioning the lack of access to education, that there are at least 4 million children who doesn't have access to education. There's also a problem with inclusion because a lot of 1 out of 10 children who don't speak Spanish just can have access to education. There's also a problem with quality of education because half of the students that are about to finish primary school have problems with communication skills and language skills, and also with the economic field because children who are going through poverty, extreme poverty, just 2 out of 5 of them can actually continue with their studies. So we are back to back, and we are pointing at solving this major problem. So I'm Aldo. I've studied applied linguistics here at UNAM, and
I'm Alisa Hanis. I'm a student from Sapir College, and I'm studying communications and digital marketing. So, as we said, children are the pillars of our nation, and that's why it's so important to invest in our future generation. The problem that we saw is that there is actually a lack of, or sometimes even no access to basic education. And we talk about things like reading, writing, and that's why we really want to focus on our children and to create a community and a generation of people who are thinking outside of the box, who are independent, brilliant, and that's something that we really need right now in our world. So the solution that we thought of is creating a program of tutors, and we'll send a number of bright students to tutor children that they're in disadvantaged situations and they don't get the education they deserve to get. And yeah, we'll send them to selected areas to help those children. So as we said, we are back to back, and our mission is to work towards equal education and giving the same opportunities to every children around the world. Of course, we will start at first in Mexico, and then we hope that we can just conquer the world and help everybody in need. So as a company, our core values would be responsibility, perseverance, integrity, and resilience. We are looking for excellent people. We are looking for brilliant people. And we need a team that will actually be passionate enough to create a change.
So we decided to start a little by attacking the main touched state of Mexico, which is Chiapas. It has a 7.8 average of children who are actually finish school. So that means that in average, every student in Chiapas just arrives to second year of middle school, sorry. And well, there are over 1 million children in Chiapas, which is represents 20% of its population, and 30.7% of that population is illiterate. So maybe we can also attack that as well. So we have mainly 3 competitors. They all offer scholarships to students, but the difference that we have is that we are focusing just in education. They are more focused on, the first one is more focused on the ecological field and the cultural field. The second one is more about improving the situation of the whole school system. What I mean with a school system is more like the structure of it, with the places where children study. And the last one is more about leadership, but it is more an international one. We're first attacking the national problems. And more than a business model, is more like how are you going to make money, or how we expect to make money. So basically, we are thinking about commissions from the foundations that we are thinking about working with. So we are thinking about implementing our program in these associations, and the amount of donations that we get from them, we are going to take 10% of those associations of the donations, and we are going to stay with a percentage of that, and we're going to give students a little percentage of that. So it's basically always a win-win situation. We are going to develop an app where we are going to show ads. Ads will be more about education things, more about the things that teachers mainly use to provide education. And the events is actually correlated with the foundations, because we are actually going to show the events that these foundations are providing, and actually try to get some sort of commission out of it.
So as we said, we want to send tutors. So this will be our process of the whole program. We will start by admitting selected students. We'll be choosing the bright ones, the ones that have the drive and the passion. The next step will be developing a custom tutoring program. What we mean by that, we won't be sending them just to tutor. We want to create a custom program that will be diverse enough, interesting. We will teach actual things that will make the children think out of the box. That's the whole idea of this program. The next step will be coaching and instructing the tutors with the program they already made. And the last step will be sending those tutors to the selected areas. And from that on, we're starting. So we want to create an app that will correlate with the whole program. So our app will be helping us to monitor and evaluate our process as a company, so we can see everything that's going on behind the scenes. And by that, I mean, we will keep track of our tutors. We can see what they're doing, how is everything going. And as well, we can see the child's progress. So we're thinking about creating the program that will be that will work on a tablet or maybe a computer. And that's how we can keep track of the process and see if we need to maybe upgrade the program a little or change things up. So, and another thing, the tutors will be able to access their schedules and their personal data, and they'll always have an option to contact someone for help if they need that. So yeah, that was everything. We hope you liked our idea, and thank you so much for your time and listening to us.
Thank you, Papa Nash, for this very inspiring proposal. Now it's time for the question round by the jury.
Thank you for your presentation again. I think there is a big need in many places around the world. But my question would be, as a business, is it something you think is viable, or should it be more oriented towards a non-profit where you can, there's, people earn their money, etc. But the idea would be to be a non-profit organization. I wonder what you thought about that.
No, we didn't think about being non-profit. The whole idea started as like a scholarship program for like bright students that can't afford their studies. So we thought maybe we'll do a scholarship that actually they're helping someone else on the way. But I think our idea can change its course. Maybe we'll be nonprofit, and we'll only stay on like a scholarship program. And at the same time, we can take off and maybe like be completely different and create an app and just go in a completely different direction.
So we wanted to start little, just with some sort of prototype in order to see if we make enough money to actually continue. That's why we choose to go in just one state, because at first glance we were going the whole country, but then we'd reduce it to 3 states and then we just to one. So it's just like more like a prototype in order to see if it works. And actually with the association that I don't think we mentioned it, it's Educa, and it has over 37,000 students all over the country. So if a program could work in a certain place, in this case Chiapas, maybe we can actually, this association can actually implement those programs in the other institutions. So
Hi, first of all, congratulations. And I have several questions. The first one is that one of your main values is to have a good education and access to it, right? And you think that you're going to start in Chiapas, as you already said. But I see that the main core of the whole project is based on the app, right? On the device app and the model that you are developing of tutoring. But I see here a clear problem for the access, because mainly in that region of Mexico, they don't have like light or connectivity or the technology just to go in there. So how do you think it's gonna be a problem like in the real life if they don't have those kind of resources?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. At first, I don't think we wanted to base everything on the app. The app was only a tool for us to keep data, and it was more focused on our tutors because we wanted to know what our tutors are doing and if they're getting by with everything as they're supposed to. Because the whole idea was sending them to locations that need help. So I think I don't think we will actually like teach with the app, because they will be creating a program. So in the places that don't have access to like internet, or they don't have the resources for that, I think it will be absolutely fine if our tutors will just be teaching them with the program as is, like in a class, and it will be a young environment. So it will be very interesting, and I think even like helpful. So I don't think the app will be like mandatory.
Thank you. Congratulations. And I would like to ask you if you had research or get in touch with international programs like from the UNESCO or other similars, or even with funding programs to support the development, especially the initial investment you need. Thank you.
No, we haven't looked up for that. We're very concerned about that because yes, it requires a lot of money to send students to selected locations and just be there for a while. We're thinking about the thing. I cannot really say how much time, because the context of every community is different, and the needs of the children are also different. So we're thinking about, we had a problem with that because actually we're not expert in finance, so we didn't want to make a lot of it, because otherwise it would be like probably not facing reality, and we don't want to go with like super high expectations with a lot of dreams about, yeah, we're going to do this and this, but the money, where it is going to come from, it's like, it's easier to imagine than to do it. So that's why we don't have like a very precise way of getting funding and stuff like that. Yep. So
Yeah. What is the major asset of your business? The tutors, the program, or the impact that you will have in children? What would it be? How would you measure the success in the future of your program?
I would say definitely the impact. Like, this is the most important part, I think, for both of us. We want to create an impact. And I think that it's sad to hear that there are children that don't get like equal opportunities. And we really want to, I don't know, maybe rattle the boat. We want to make some noise. We want to maybe start something that in the future will get bigger, and maybe more people will be interested to jump on board on that. So the main goal would be the impact we're leaving.
Now imagine that there is 2030, and somebody asks you, what was the reason for you to success in your enterprise?
I would say perseverance, because it's not something that we will just solve from one day to another. So it requires time, and the thing is that we have been education it has been there for a while, and it has not proven to change something. So we are still having problems here. I mean, I can just speak about Mexico because that's where we are focusing on, but it is just a matter of perseverance, just to see how we progress, and if something is not working, then just taking over again probably not from the start, but from where we identify a problem. And the thing is that we really need to change with the future generations, because they are not having the same perspective of the world and things like that. So we need to, it's like both, yeah, it's like a never-ending process that we have to face here. So it's just a matter of perseverance. That's why I think education is one of the hardest things to go through, to enter, because it's just a matter of understanding the whole thing, the whole context of what's happening there.
Yeah. So my suggestion is that you have to realize that you are in the business of perseverance, and it will take a lot to make this thing become successful. And probably you have to measure not with money, but with other indicators that the program is a successful one. And you have to think on solving at least the baseline at the beginning. And I think it is a good standard to start with only one state, with this kind of a requirement for children, and to test the tutors, and to somehow validate the tutors and the program. It is, I think it's the next step for you. It's to validate the program, to validate the tutors, and realizing that there is no money. I mean, you will not measure the success of your business with money. It will be other indicators. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think we all love the idea of education, and you have identified a very important issue. You mentioned that you want to have people to think out of the box, right? That's the main objective, to make a difference with that. How do you envision the program itself? What would be the contents, and how are you going to make sure that tutors really provide that difference? What will your idea, in what terms will make the difference really from what the other programs already offer?
I think the difference for us, we thought we're going to put them in a young environment with, I think young people, it's easier for them to connect to each other. And we want our program to be built with the young people, with the tutors, because the tutors will be students, bright students. And we want them to give the children the opportunity to talk, to maybe, okay, they're studying English and they want to, I guess, we want them a space to have their opinions open in the room. We want to start a conversation. So I think our programs will be more like that, more open, not like you're sitting in a closed class, you're studying whatever you need to study as it's written, but more of a dialogue between them. You're talking, he's answering, and sort of like that. We want it to be very different from a regular school, a regular program. We want it to be absolutely different.
Yeah, I have one last comment. It's regarding, I think you also need to look into how to form a relationship with the authorities, like the SEP in Mexico. I don't think you can just walk straight into a school. So I think you need to look at building a relationship with the authorities also.
Yeah, we agree. We already are looking into it.
And another thing, I think that instead of thinking the foundations as a competitors, they can be great allies to get found, to get support, and to gather all the strength for this kind of project. So I think you can change that kind of that view about them.
Huge thanks to our judges for their questions, and thank you, Babanash.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Team number 3 is named after a traditional German dish, Spätzle. Please welcome Mihai Shishman and Ketzeli Ledesma with their project, Collectory.
Hi everyone. We are team Spätzle. Can you give me this? You have seen. You had it. Don't worry. Okay. So hi everyone, and this is team Spätzle, and or to save and be safe. But before I start talking about Collectory, I would like to present ourselves. So I'm Ketzeli. I'm from Mexico. I study applied linguistics, and this is my partner. Present yourself.
I'm Shishman Mihai. I'm a student at Politécnica University of Bucarest, Romania. And
can you see? We are only 2 members, but unfortunately, the other 2, Johanna and Marina, couldn't come. But the most important thing is that we think about how to attend to domestic violence. Okay, domestic violence is an urgent problem because, as the United Women reported in 2021, 1 of 3 women between 15 and 35 years old suffer domestic violence. So, our product or startup idea, Collectory, as the name says, collects helpful information for the victims of domestic violence, so it could be easier for them to ask for help. This is the first prototype that we have of Collectory. We wanted to make it easy, to make it friendly, so the user cannot be struggling with it.
Okay, so time to explain what exactly are we. So as my colleague already said, this is our concept, but this time is for mobile, and these are the functions that mainly the app will have as we initially thought. First of all, it will be the calling function, which would act as like the Romanian app 112, which you can call directly, and also show information about your locations and other stuff like blood type and other things like that. And it will be more like more informational than the classic number 112. And then we have a directory which consists of specialized people in the field of domestic violence which you can talk with or contact. And then, as the third and final feature that this app will have, is a safe map that will show some safe locations and places where the victims will go, like houses of friends,
associations
that we will work with, and other things like that. Okay, so this is how our app will look like, and we will have the main 2 functions on which you will see when you enter on our website. First one is I need help, and a guide that we spoke about earlier will show. And if you press I'm a witness, the same guide will show up, but not as detailed, and it will have mainly like the numbers or our contact information, and the person that is a witness will talk with us, and we will take the decision of contacting the victim or not if it's necessary. And here, of course, is like the layout for the mobile. Okay, so it's time to talk about funding and how we think that this app will function, because mainly we thought about making it like freemium, which the app will be free, but it will probably have ads, or you will need to, or you will have the option to support us with some money, or you will also have we will also have the option of crowdfunding.
So we know that this is a huge problem, and we are working with 4 countries. So we know that, yeah. So we want to help that the way that we think we can do it. This is our contact, and if you have some comments, some questions.
Thank you, Team Spätzle, for this creative. Yeah, thank you for this creative and very necessary solution. I'm pretty sure that our judges would like to know more about your project, so let's listen to their comments.
a very good presentation. Congratulations. Have you researched about the regulations and protocols that authorities already have in each place where your project will operate? Because sometimes you need to apply them in a certain and in a specific way. So I think it's
yeah, we want to start like in Mexico, but we know because Mexico has higher numbers, but not just like in all the country. We would like to start in Mexico City in a specific delegation. So we will start like contact the people that works right there, so we can be like little by little, and yeah, to start with that first community and to see how it works, and start like that.
Okay, thank you very much.
I have a first question. How would you found the solution? How much do you need to make it happen?
We found some, we made some research and used some sites which calculate these things. And I found some prices from like 5,000 to 25,000 euros, if I remember correctly, because the question of developing an app is very broad. It depends very much on what the app should do, how is the app built, and how many functions does it have. And on some site that was written there on the last slide with sources, we found a Romanian source that says that like the least expensive app development would cost like 25,000 lei or something like that. But this is the most simple if we want to make it how we want, which is a medium, let's say, we would need like 5,000 euros or something like that.
Okay, and I have another question. How can it be like this app? How it can be threatened for the victim? You know, sometimes the victim live with their with the aggressor. How can it maybe sometimes they are kidnapped in their own home? So how can it be like useful to them, and it can be a threat if they have downloaded on their phone or something like that?
Yes, we want to make like a guide specifically with psychologists and people who is specialized in this thing, but also not only for the victim, also for the people that knows. I think that everyone knows like one person that had been in this situation, so they can like answer tests, like to know if how this person could have. So that could be a possibility.
What are the indicators that will let you know that the product is ready to be launched in the market?
First of all, we should be sure that everything functions, like the app, the buttons, like everything. Second of all, we thought about releasing like, I don't know, something like a free version or something like that, maintained mainly by us, which some members of our family or someone like that can use. And then if they're like pleased with the results, maybe that's a good sign that we can.
We also wanted to be like really in contact with the associations, so they can tell us like, okay, this I don't know, these 3 persons come from they told us that they got this information from your app or something like that. We try to be like associated with governmental associations and shops, and
We're trying to find fund mainly in the people and the government and things like that.
Okay, and what will you do to make people trust in your application? I mean, you have your telephone, and even in the telephone, I have an emergency call here. How would it be the difference to call through your app or something that is in my phone already?
We think that what it makes us different is that we have all in just one app, and we wanted to make we need to
Yeah, we just like sometimes, at least in Romania, things like these are not exact. Like sometimes you need to be localized by a satellite, or is like that thing GSM antennas, which when are 3 GSM, their function as a triangle, and you will be somewhere in the middle. We would want to operate on a different system, one more exact, like working maybe with satellites from Google or something like that, which are more exact than GSM antennas.
And we also wanted to start with a community, so like little by little, so they can trust in us and they can assure themselves that the app works and can help them. So they like trusting between them.
Okay. I have more of a suggestion. Have you thought of including in your app maybe a way for I know a lot of people who, or I don't know, but I know that a lot of people are in situations that they can't feel that they can leave, and they're in a high risk situation. So I was wondering if you could set something up that perhaps the person at risk needs to check in like every 24 hours or every 12 hours. And if they don't, the system will send a message to a friend who could be alerted that something is happening, that they're at risk, or they're in a bigger problem that they normally are. And so if you considered anything like that to go in the app to make it, the people trust it more. So you have the app automatically calls a friend or sends a message to a friend to help out.
Yes, that's already a function more or less. I think we maybe never thought about all the details, but as like to make it trustworthy, we must first develop a community, but we rely mainly on the idea of safety, of people being safe, helping people. And mainly, I think, at least in my country, people trust more other people than the authorities, sadly, or not sadly for us. And so we rely that other people will help, because we saw that we have the function of other people helping the victims that they know are in trouble. And we rely mainly on that. When you know you have a friend in need, you open the app and you use our functions for everything to work just fine, instead of calling the police and things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, judges. We also have a couple of questions from our viewers on YouTube. The first one from Elias Chio. They mentioned that they would like to be in contact with some organizations for their app to work. Which organizations are they talking about?
We search, and it depends of each country. For example, in Mexico is like in Mujeres, in Romania is
Any or something like that. Alice.
In Israel, there's No to Violence. So it will depend.
Okay, thank you. And we have another question from Elias. Which community would they be working with? What is their criteria to select that community?
We already haven't a criteria. We just think about Mexico City because it has the highest numbers. But I think we need to search where they have more associations so we can start talking with them.
Mainly women in need of of all ages, actually, because as we found out, mainly women of all ages suffer from domestic abuse and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
Women of all ages.
Thank you.
The short answer.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's have a round of applause for Team Spätzle. A classic Israeli dish is the name of the fourth team, shakshuka. Meet Eliza Hoabat, Adi Ilin, and Abril Mesa, and their project Art Works.
Hello, everyone.
How lucky are we here that we're in this project working with international teams and students, communicating, working, and networking. What about the students that can't be here right now? What about the students in Ukraine? All right. Okay. How can I
We have different results. In my life.
what's going on in the video? Basically, students in Ukraine have no platform to express their emotions and their needs, and they have no ability to connect to other students on the opposite side of the political conflict, and they need someone to bond with, and they need a tool with it. Solution is to overcome the outcomes of the war and let the students to have a voice.
That takes us to our product. The best idea we came up with is to create a virtual platform, a virtual home for our students. So what we're proposing is to have this new website where students can either join, share, and sell their art. As we see, it's made up of different parts. First of all, we want them to share with us what they're feeling, what they're experiencing. And later on, we have a community section where they can connect with other students, mainly those that are on the other side, those that we cannot see their perspective. And it will also be a fundraiser site, a fundraising site. So can we go to the And our product is called Artworks. The name sprouts from the conviction that art is a key element and a common ground that will help us reach peace through mutual understanding. So as you can see, we've decided to go with a neutral palette because we want our artists to bring our website to life. We have normally white backgrounds, which represent the blank canvas every artist must overcome. And color will be a luxury for the students who decide to join us. So here in Artwork, they will be able to connect, share, sell, and even help if you're on the outside. And well, we will try to keep our platform as dynamic as possible. We will implement changing backgrounds that will change according to our seasonal themes. We will invite popular artists to collaborate with us. And we will also have campaigns on our social media platforms just to make weekly spotlights so that every artist has the opportunity to feel seen. But I'm sure all of it sounds amazing. Do we even have like the chance to succeed? I know, right? So just to give you some data from from our market analysis, we have some numbers according to our stakeholders, which are the people who will be affected or affect our platform with their interaction. So just focusing on this one project, we have that there are 5.3 million students right now being affected by this political conflict. And on the other hand, we have the market. We have that up to a 69% of the deals that were made online for art, 69% were bought by millennials. So that will be mainly our target group, and 66% even bought 2 or more. Now we have, once again with the students, we have a research study conducted by a prestigious American university that says that 79% of the participants were less prone to depression and anxiety after conducting artistic exercises. And this was just like a one-time thing. Imagine if it becomes regular. And last but not least, we have that this prototype is designed to be launched first in Germany. Why? Well, we have this latent willingness to help. We found that in the last year, at least 1 in every 4 Germans has donated to Ukraine because of the political conflict, and we want to take this willingness to help and make rightful use of it.
And of course, we also checked our competition because we wanted to create a unique selling point for you guys. So we have direct and indirect components. The direct are, for example, the Association for Students for Ukraine, where you can just support by donating money, but it has nothing to do with that. The other 2 are 2 platforms, or basically where you can buy art. The first one, you can also buy older art, and the other one is just for newer art, but it's not specifically for students. The indirect would be the common Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, etc. But of course here, there's just so much content going on and it's easily getting lost. So we are creating a new unique product. Yeah, but let's have a brief overview of our income and our costs. So our main income would be over our online ads and over our sales commission, which is by 10%. So every sale that is being made, we're gonna get 10%. We want to sell art kits, so we also want to connect cultures. We're gonna sell the art kits where you have videos of the different artists. So we have a new connection to new cultures. And of course, you also have the possibility to donate, and we hope that we're gonna get some fundraising. Our costs are actually pretty low, so we just need some money for us to survive. We need the logistics because we decided that you either have the possibility to just download the art, or you have the possibility that it's getting shipped to you from Germany, from our university HDM, because we also have a print department. And we need money for our webpage and for bureaucracy stuff like taxes. Yeah, so in summary, our value proposition is that we want students to cope the happenings by being appreciated for the way they express themselves, and we want them to feel seen and heard. But why is our team the best for doing that? So we are a team of 3 young, motivated women. We want to change the world. We want to make it a better place to live. We have April, she's from Mexico. She's our web developer. And yeah, her motivation is that she's looking for peace and she wants to change the world. We have Adi, she's from Israel. She is a marketing expert. She is already like having the best ideas for our marketing campaigns, I can tell you. And her motivation is quite personal because she's from the Ukraine. And so she knows the culture and she knows the background. And then there's me, I'm the designer. I'm an art enthusiast. I love creating new art and I also have a quite big network with artists. So yeah, I can help with that. So yeah, I hope you're gonna join us on our mission to close the breach one canvas at a time, because we want to make the world a better place. And we are Artworks, bond, create, get free.
Many thanks to Team Shakshuka for sharing your evolutionary ideas with us. Now it's time to answer some questions from the jury.
Congratulations, it was very interesting, your point of view, the way you approach this issue. But in the same sense, I think it could be in certain way easier to integrate artists that are living abroad, not in the countries that are involved in the conflict. But how are you gonna get how are you gonna get in touch, or how are you gonna integrate people which is in the countries that are having the conflict, because they are busy trying to survive and access to basic resources. So the communication tools maybe are not available, or they don't have electricity, or they are in hard conditions. So how can you reach them? Is it possible with your project, or is just for people that can help from abroad? And it is not clear for me who your competitors could be, and how could political issues impact in the develop and implementation of your project? Thank you.
Okay, so let's answer one question at a time. The first one was that you don't know if we have the possibility to integrate students who are suffering from war, right? So actually we did some surveys with the brother and friends of Adi, because they're from the Ukraine. And we are also seeing that people are reporting on social media. So we know that there's a possibility. And we think, especially here, we were seeing that it's so nice if we can get in touch with different coaches and different universities. And the students are still studying. I mean, you saw it in the video. They're just using the places for different occasions. And I think they're mainly, of course, they are having different problems, and maybe they don't have the time all the day, of course. But we think, and we are sure that there's a possibility that we can reach them and integrate them into the project. And the other question was, sorry, can you repeat it again?
Competitors and political issues that could impact the project.
Yeah, well, we mentioned our competitors. For example, there are 2 sites that sell art to help Ukraine and the war. But for example, one of them makes prints of 20th century artists. So it's not really encouraging artistic expression as a way to cope, which is our main, like our new scope. And it's just selling and sending the money. And the second one is Artists for Ukraine, which are actual professional artists, sculptors, designers, and they're coming together, making art and selling it to get profit too for the citizens. But it's not directly related to the students, and it's not encouraging expression and connection, which is what we're hoping to achieve.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, congratulations. I think the project is looking at the business in a 360 point of view, right? And non-profitable aspects, in the selling, and you have some way to survive, you know, as a business. So that's great. Well, it's just like the same as the other team, like an advice. Maybe you can have like more partners because of the, you know, there's no problem with the digital art, such as photographies, etc. But maybe the handcraft can be a big deal for the delivery and the payment, you know, all that process. So maybe you can look up for some, partners that they can help you. And the other thing is, what are you gonna do to make sure like that the profits really go to the artist, and you know with all the people that are between them, that it's a very common thing in the art world, you know? So how do you make sure that all that you do is really for the artist, well, the young artist, and well, to make that connection for the money?
Well, their platform, their personal user profiles, they will have like a little store. So every student that wants to sell their drawing, he can do it like on like Etsy store. I don't know if you know, it's like store inside of the profile, and it will be automatically transitioned to their bank account, and already after the fees are taken care of. Yeah.
And if I can add something, we are also guaranteeing that they are students, because there's like a verifying system. So if you are entering the platform, you have to verify by your university email account. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. How do you see this expanding? Because Ukraine is not the only conflict zone in the world. So I was wondering, how do you think this is going to move forward?
Well, first we want to start in Germany and support Ukraine and all the conflict is going, but then we want, if it will go as well as we want, we will expand to other countries like Israel, because we also from Israel, and further. But we first want to start in Ukraine because right now a lot of countries in Europe are affected by the war. Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be only digital, or you will send the physical art pieces?
Yeah, that's what I was saying in the presentation. So there are two versions. The first one is that you can either just download the picture, which is quite common on Pinterest and Etsy these days, which would be like the cheapest version for us. But we are also, so my university is the Media University of Stuttgart, and we have a big print segment, and we would like to do a cooperation with that, so we can like print it there and sell, like print it cheaper and do the logistic from Germany, Europe rise.
Okay. Is this a project or is it an enterprise? Because when the conflict gets finished, I mean, your enterprise will die. Yes. And I want to know, what are your plans to follow up with enterprise?
Well, first of all, we want to promote peace and we don't want to war keep going. So if our product will die in like finished, then I think it will be the goal for every countries. And another thing, as a startup, we'll always find a way to adapt and to make new ideas.
Okay.
Oh, you want to go?
And also, well, we are considering reduced costs because this is starting as a project. Many of us have not professional like skills, but we can like work with it. And we're also planning on contacting students so they can do their volunteering like section of their professional preparation with us. So we would sort of be getting it for free or maybe cheaper.
I have another question. If a lot of the work is digital, have you thought about using NFTs for selling rather than just downloading a file?
Well, first of all, in the Corona pandemic, the NFTs were really high, and now since the corona went down, the millennials are not buying so much NFTs, and the market is not on its best path right now. So we want to do it like the old traditional way for now. Maybe in the future, when it be more developed and concrete, we will think about it. We actually thought about it, but for now, we're gonna do the traditional way.
Okay, hi, congratulations. You mentioned that you were going to retain keep 10% of each of the sales, right? Okay, how did you come up with that figure? And if you are sure that that includes all the expenses and that you will also make a profit out of it, or that was not the objective really?
So the 10% we were comparing just different web pages we found online, and we were looking them up, and it was always like 10%, sometimes more, but we want that most of the profits going to the students. So we were like keeping it at the limit by 10%. And the other question was if it's a profit. Yeah, so right now we are planning that it's a non-profit organization, but of course we need some money to survive. So and to maintain the website and to do the bureaucracy stuff and like the minimum expenses. But right now we are planning that it's a non-profit organization.
And I just wanted to add, because we want to work with the Stuttgart, we have the printing center there, and we also can use the developers and programmers to get their experience and build for us the website and maintain the data.
Thank you for your questions. We also have a couple of very interesting questions from our YouTube viewers. The first one comes from Guillermo Diaz Granados. He says, great idea. Art will always be well valued, and if you have a good cause, but how are you going to convince artists to give up the intellectual property of their artwork so that you can sell them?
Well, they don't have to give up their intellectual thing, because we just want that they also, like, it's to their benefit. They are creating art, they are expressing their emotions, they are getting money out of it. So actually they're the most, they're getting the most out of our product.
They also have the choice whether they just want to share it or even sell it. And if they don't want to sell, they don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, thank you. And the next one comes from Elias Chio. Right now, there is a big debate regarding artificial intelligence and art. Will you allow artificial intelligence art to be uploaded in your platform?
First of all, the new artificial art is a big question, and artists can use this tool as express themselves and not give up, because this kind of platforms won't disappear and they will grow. So for us, for artists like Alice and me, we draw, and for us it's or give up on our art or take it as an advantage and work with it. So you can use the artificial intelligence as an art tool, because you still need to know the language and what to tell the computer what to do. If anyone's tried to do artificial art, it's really hard to get what you want, because you need to use the language real precisely, and you have to know what to say to the computer. The computer cannot generate something that you don't know, the computer doesn't know. He needs the human brain to generate the art. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Team Shakshuka, and congratulations for your initiative. Before we present the next team, we would like to thank our viewers on YouTube for tuning in. And we have a comment directed at all of you from Dr. Gilbert. He says, good morning and congratulations to all the participants. Team number 5 is named after a very common type of street food in Israel, falafel. Jessica Napolitano, Mai Scheiman, and Frida Franco present to us their project, Riyam.
Hi, everybody. The doctors of the future will no longer treat the humans with medicine, but rather will cure and prevent diseases with nutrition. This quote was said by Thomas Edison, and this was what inspired us to create RIAM. In RIAM, we want you to taste your impact on your body, on the environment, and on the society.
Oh, yeah. My name is Frida. I'm a student here at UNAM. And when I study long hours, when I'm in the classrooms and I feel really tired and really hungry, and I want to get something to eat, I usually go out and I go around and I look to places, and I don't seem to find anything more than tacos de canasta or tortas de salchicha, which are not really good options for a student that has to work for long hours. So what we're thinking about precisely is for the students to be able to get fresh fruit, that is vegetables and veggies, at affordable prices. That's because it seems to be a really bad problem here in Mexico.
I just might say that in Israel, in my college, in Sapir Academy, I have a lot of healthy choices. Like we have about 10 types of salads, veggies, sandwiches at around $5 each. So it's really a decent price so we can eat healthy food inside of the college.
Yeah, same in Germany. We also have different varieties of balanced food like salads and sandwiches, but also warm food, and it's all affordable. So yeah.
And not only the problem is that students have problems here in Mexico to find affordable fresh fruit, but it's also a problem that more than 45% of the veggies and vegetables that are produced are wasted around the world. So what we were thinking to find a solution that not only helps the students to get affordable fresh fruit, but also that is reducing the food waste around the world and helping small businesses to earn money.
What we mean, it's a win-win situation for all. So what we thought about is to make an app which small supermarkets and small markets will sell their nearly expired fruits and veggies at affordable prices to university students. So how does it gonna work? This is how it's supposed to look like. You see, we have RIAM on top, our logo and search bar. So people can get into this app after 5 hours the clock. And this time, the small supermarkets will upload to this app their fruits and veggies that tomorrow they can't be sold. Why? Because they're not pretty enough. It doesn't mean that we can't eat it or their nutrition is not so good. So they can go inside and they can purchase the items and lower prices. What more they can do, they can go and read articles, will be sponsored by companies who wanna sell free items to sell fruit and veggies. The articles will be about lifestyle, healthy lifestyle. And then they can gain points by reading these articles. With this point, they can be lower prices, like discounts, or they can use it for free shipping, all kind of stuff. Here they can go to the homepage and they can contact with us if there are any problems. Okay, so the market valuation. First of all, we decided to go here, Mexico City. Now, why do we decide it? Because Israel is very small, and all of Israel, we have 350 students, also in Germany. So we decided to go small in Mexico City. We have more than 500,000 students here. The average amount of salary in Mexico City for a student is 6,625 pesos. The amount in spending on books, on food, on rent, it's 6,000 pesos. What means they don't have enough money to eat healthy, because fast food here is much cheaper than to eat healthy. Also, what we said, there's more than almost 50% of the fruits and veggies are going to waste by the UN. So we want to solve all of this together in our solution.
So the students we want to connect with are on the age of 18 to 26 years. So we chose Instagram and TikTok to get in touch with them and keep them updated. And for our business partners, we use LinkedIn and Facebook to, also keep in touch with them and maybe attract new potential business partners. We want to work with the university we are in right now, the UNAM, also the IPN and Ministry of Health in Mexico, because I think they all have a special interest in helping us to get more students use the app. What type of competition we have? So I think we don't have like direct competition, but to mention one from Germany, we have Too Good To Go. Like us, they want to fight against food waste. They work with restaurants, bakeries, and also small and big supermarkets. They can sell their leftovers of the day in magic bags. So the customers don't know what they buy, but they know what amount of money they save. So yeah, that's basically how it works.
Right, and here in Mexico, we have one competitor, which is Perfecto, but it's not quite like what we are offering here. Because Perfecto, what they do is they take the fruits and veggies from the producers and they deliver it to the houses of the customers. But they are not focusing exactly on the students. They are just focusing on a regular customer. So we are offering to actually get the students access to fruits and veggies at cheaper prices.
Our solution is B2B.
So I think the biggest question is how we're going to make profit. The most profit we want to generate through the supermarkets that work with us. We want to them to pay us 5% of their profits they make through our app. How we got to the number is basically Too Good To Go, which I mentioned before. They charge $1 per every magic bag that gets sold, and the magic bags are around 3 to 4 euros each. So they take 25 to 33% from the earnings, and we wanted to make it a small amount of money in the first, because we want the supermarkets to trust us and to want to work with us. But in the future, when we are getting bigger, we want to adjust that number and maybe get more profit. And also we want to make money from other companies that can buy apps on our app.
Some of the key resources that we would need to make our app happen are, for example, we would have to have an app developer, and that would cost around $4,000 to $6,000. We would also need a community manager and a digital manager. That would be in total around $7,000. And so that's what we are figuring out at the moment that we would need to spend.
Here's the little example of what we will earn from the 5% through the supermarkets. So if 20,000 users would use the app and spend like $6 to $10 per month, we would get $6,000 to $10,000 a month through the supermarkets.
So this is our team. I want to show you why we are the perfect team for this startup. My name is Mai Shaiman. I'm a student at Sapir College Academy for communication with marketing and digital media. I'm specialized in rhetorics, and I'm the head of the PR at the Student College Union.
My name is Jessica Napolitano. I'm studying at the HDM in Stuttgart, and I'm currently doing a Bachelor of Engineering and Packaging Technology. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, my name is Frida, and I'm just hoping to help with the language in marketing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to us.
Team Falafel is indeed made up of future planners. It's a great idea to make sure nothing goes to waste. Next, we have the round of questions.
Thank you, and congratulations for your presentation. Um, what will make the supermarkets prefer to use your app and people as well? Because nowadays, some of those markets sell directly to customers those veggies and fruits on a cheaper price without the app. So what will be the advantage of using it instead of doing it as they already do? And what will be the advantage also for people? Because if they don't have enough income, maybe they will prefer to go to the nearest store. So what will be the point of having information of other stores that are far from the point they are, especially if they need to pay for transport or things like that?
Okay, so first of all, we're talking about students, and students doesn't have any time. So they want to compare the prices with the lower prices. What we do inside of this app, we're making sure that the amount of money that they're spending about cucumber, it's the same amount they will spend about tortillas. It will be the same amount, but it will be much healthier choices. And because it doesn't have enough time to go and search in the stores and to do the comparison between the prices, they will see everything inside of the app. And they can also do shipping to the university or shipping to their house. So the time is not a factor anymore. Moreover than that, the stores, they want to rid of these items. They doesn't want it anymore. So the next day they will throw them or they will store them and then throw them away. So we give them the option to read of this and to finish their day with the freshest items they can have in their store instead of throwing that away.
And just to add something else, a reason why the students might choose us is because we offer them promotions. We will be working with different universities and with the Ministry of Health. And by that, we could give them also different promotions and discounts for them to buy their foods.
Okay.
Well, congratulations. But I think that the solution that you presented us is for another problem, not for the one for students. Because as you said, the students doesn't have any time. Your solution needs the student to go and pick up the fruits and the vegetables, the products, and they have to go and prepare them. So I think the students need a solution for ready to eat food. That's why they prefer tacos and other things that you can find here all over the campus, because it's faster, and it's already prepared. So maybe you can, with this solution, make another focus maybe for those students that live by their own and they have to go at their own shopping, and maybe other kind of solution of problem could be solved with this solution. So what do you think about my point of view?
Okay, so first of all, we thought about starting with the poverty here in Mexico. There's more than 40%, and in entire Mexico, 53%. But we wanted to start small, to start and see if students would like it. And then we can go big, because the population here in Mexico, it's 128 million people. So I want to see if in a smaller scale, if people will use this app and use it like a prototype. More than that, we said we can do shipping to the university and to their houses, and even like for apples, for peach, things they can put inside their bags. More than that, we talk about putting lockers here in the campus. They can ship the fruits and veggies here to the college so they can collect it from here.
Yeah, because I think you have to have in mind that Mexico City is a really big city. The logistic is not that easy. even though it's just here inside the campus, it's quite big. No, you know, so maybe you have the local solution could be a nice one. You know, think about more on the target market that you want to help. Well, thanks.
What data will you collect in your platform, in your app, and what will you do with the data?
The data that we will collect is first we would have to have the information from the student's card, so they can access the app and they can get access also to the discounts. We could also see which stores they prefer, and we will see information about the location, so we can see which supermarkets will be more available for the students or are more appealing for them to go and get the things, or which supermarkets are more eager to actually ship the different fruits and veggies to the students.
It will also help us with promotions, so then we know who to go to get the promotions, because the students are more likely to go to the supermarkets.
Imagine tomorrow someone is interested in buying your company. What will it be the reasons for other people to buy your company? Why your company is worth to be bought? For your technology, for your solutions, for the data you have, or for others? I mean, why the people is going to be interested in you as a technology creator or a service creator? I mean, why do you think the persons are going to be interested in buying your company?
I believe that the main thing is that we have a social focus, which is on the students, precisely because we're talking about university students, people who are about to graduate maybe. And it's important to remember that we are building professionals here in the country. So I believe that because of this social impact, they would be really interested in buying our company, first of all.
And I think more than that, when we talk about reducing the food waste, the amount of food waste, it's like tons in a year, billions in a year, and it costs the world more than around $50 billion for a year. And we wanted to reduce it because it's not only the fruit, it's the water, it's the people that work for doing these fruits and veggies, it's all the logistic under these circumstances. So it's all these together. So it's not only the veggies that going thrown away, it's all the work that was behind it. So it's more like environmental and also social.
Yes, I was wondering if you thought about partnering with other delivery services like Uber Eats or Rappi, so you're not dependent on the supermarkets to deliver, because they tend to just go with their clients, right? I mean, so I just wondered whether partnering with another delivery service would make sense for your product.
So the first thing, because you said you want to start small, so we said there are supermarkets who does deliveries and they will provide their delivery service, or you can go and pick it up yourself. But in the future, if we see that this app really catch up, we can combine it with Uber Eats and this this company, and we can do it like PR or do it like partners for us. But I think we need to gain a little bit of users so we can offer them this, but it's really on our mind.
And who's gonna pay for that transportation cost if you use Uber Eats, because you are selling products under the regular price? So a big part of the profit is gone. So who's gonna pay that cost? And what is the relationship with the nutrition? Because maybe the supermarkets will be willing to sell cheaper other products such as sausages, for example, that would be not really healthy.
We are deciding that we're going only on fruit and veggies, because the amount of fruits and veggies that go waste around the world. So this is our main, because we can go like all of the food waste, but we want to solve one problem in a big problem. We can do everything. And more than that, about the Uber Eats, first of all, we said we're going to do it in a small supermarket. And then you will pay about shipping if you want it, and you can read the articles and get points. And with these points, you can pay about the shipping. So it really depends what you want. If you want to pay the shipments, or the supermarkets want to provide the cheap, or to provide it free. If you buy like 400 pesos, you get free shipping. So it really depends about the contract. But for Uber Eats, we need to see it how it goes on, and then you can figure out the numbers.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have another question from one of our viewers on YouTube. It comes from Elias Chio. Is there a nutritional difference between fresh and nearly expired veggies? If yes, would it be healthy for students to eat nearly expired products?
We will be actually checking verifying that the food that we receive, the food that the supermarkets sell, is in good conditions for the students to eat it. We would not accept fruits that are not in a good shape or almost rotten. So yeah, we will be really careful with that.
We're more talking about fruits that are ugly. It doesn't look nice. It doesn't mean that their nutrition are bad or they're not good for your health. Just they're not good enough to see in the store.
Right, thank you. Okay, congratulations, girls.
Thank you.
Sarmale is the name of one of the most important traditional foods in Romania, and also of team number 6. Let's welcome Shilat Miara, Brendan Aguil, and Jimena Castillo with their project Casita Homes.
Good morning, everyone. We are Casita Homes. As a student, did you ever struggle to find a home, an apartment near your university? Did you ever struggle to find a safe home? Did you ever struggle to find a home that was also affordable? Well, worry no more. We are Casita Homes, and yeah. I'm Brandon Aguil and studying computer information systems at Media University in Stuttgart. Casita means house in Spanish, but we offer more than a house, we offer homes.
My name is Shilat Miara. I'm a major in communication in Sapir College in Israel.
My name is Jimena Castillo. I'm a student of Applied Linguistics, or Host faculty, the National School of Languages, Linguistics, and Translation at the National Autonomous University of Mexico in Mexico City. We are Casita Homes. We are the founders and CEO of Casita Homes, a new, reliable, affordable platform for students in Mexico City. We will be working with housing.
Yeah, so Casita Homes invented from our own experience back in Israel, Germany, and Mexico. We are 3 students with one dream. We want to build an app that provide affordable and safe housing and for students in Mexico City.
What's the problem? We analyzed that in Mexico, there are about 3.2 million homes missing, which often leads to overcrowded informal housing, high prices, and other problems that many students are facing.
So we are marketing towards students who are or will be studying in Mexico City between an 18 to 30 age range, who are struggling to find an apartment to rent in Mexico City. We believe that the process that students go through trying to find an apartment should be an easy, accessible, and affordable process, and it's unnecessarily complicated. Our direct competitors is RoomGo, which is a website that specializes in helping people look for roommates, but it's not centered towards students. And our indirect competitor is Airbnb, the American company that specializes in short-term homestays in most of the world, but it's also not centered towards students. Our solution, an application intended for students who want to find an apartment fit to their needs in a safe environment, and most importantly, at a fair price close to their university. Feel safe with less commuting while making money. We'll explain the making money in a second.
So we have three customer groups. The one is the student that benefit from our application, and the landlords. Landlords are published in our application and advertised to, they have more exposure to students, and we are gonna create a workspace for students that are going to be the reviewers of the houses that the landlords are offering. So it's like a win-win situation for both sides, also the landlords and also the students.
Yeah, what makes us special? We have students, or we hire students and train them to make sure that every house, every apartment we offer is verified. We use students because they are best to determine what's actually important for other students, and they have the most knowledge, especially when we train them. Also, we use a review system which helps future tenants make informed choices about where they will sleep.
So marketing, as a student of communication and with my friends, we are aware of the students in the social media. So we have we want to be in all social media, and LinkedIn will be our professional page. And we want to be we want to do a collaboration with the university here in Mexico City. So the website will be publish our idea, our app, and then the students will get the help they need to find an apartment if they come from outside of Mexico City or from inside of Mexico City.
We determined that we need an initial investment of approximately $42,000. We also have estimated monthly expenses of around $16,000. And we estimate a monthly income of $24,000.
So in total, we want to $250,000 per year dollars. So for all our expenses.
Well, we are Casita Homes. If you're interested in joining in our business opportunity, you can contact us through these mediums or email, Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Team Sarmale, for sharing with us such a valuable solution for many, many students. Let's find out some more about your project through the questions of the panel of judges.
Hi, congratulations to all of you. How will you guarantee the safety of the places students will be there, will be staying?
One thing we're going to use is obviously like the criminal records of all the landlords, which are offering their products on our platform.
And the students that are going to go to the houses and see the review, and we are also going to be like locating the apartment like in the safe areas here in Mexico City. We are not planning to do it on the dangerous area in Mexico City, and this is the way. If you want to add more.
Well, there is an identity verification process in which both the landlords and the future tenants will be required to upload for the students a proof of ID, as well as a student enrollment certification to make sure they are students and a real person. And for the landlords, an ID, their criminal records, and if possible, like the picture of the house, and like the papers of the house to make sure they are landlords.
And does the students have to make like a front payment in case they damage the property, or how do you warranty, of course, for the landlords, all this process, then their property is going to be kept like they wish.
So our app is more like to connect landlords and or future tenants. So that will be discussed between them while they do their contract.
All right, congratulations for the idea. I don't know if you have thought about the range of the rents for apartments and or rooms in this case, no, for the monthly rent. Have you determined the range between so many thousand and so many thousand pesos per month, or not? Because students that might use that are there students that are on scholarships, no, that come from in or out from abroad or from Mexico. So how are you going to work with that?
The landlords need to know that they offer apartment only for students, so they will be how do you say, like forgot the word. The students have the option to
the parameters.
Yeah, the range of the apartment they in according to their money. So they need to be like there's the students option to. How do you want to explain more because my.
We're going to offer different parameters you can put in, like for example, like the maximum rent you're going to be able to pay, as well as your district you would like to choose. And then our algorithm determines which offer is best suited for you.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations also on your project, but I was wondering, you say you wanted to earn 24,000 euros a month. How long do you think it would take for you to reach that goal once you start using the app or have it out there for people to use?
It's gonna take us like something like 3 years because we know we are working with students. Students doesn't have a lot of money to spend on our app. On the first month, it will be like a trial, and the other month is like to be $5 per month for using in our app. So I think it's got something like between 2 years to 2 years to get our money back on this investment.
Okay, and on the funds to keep you going between the startup and making the 24,000, do you have how to get hold of that sort of money?
Yeah, so we'll be seeking investment from banks in Mexico City and from our universities like UNAM and the Stuttgart, you know. Yeah.
Okay, congratulations to this team as well. You talk about sustainable and affordable housing. So there is a kind of contradiction because at least here in Mexico City, as my coworker said, it is expensive. Housing is very expensive. And usually if you find an affordable housing, it is because it is too far from school. So how could you manage with that? And how are you going to make this housing sustainable? Because you are talking about the existing things. So maybe you should consider that probably there is not enough space and infrastructure in Mexico City if you want to build new ones. So how can you balance this on your project? Affordability, sustainability, and the infrastructure and the distance to the university. How can you manage with those?
One thing we're trying to do is being able to fit more students in existing apartments while not making it uncomfortable, unsafe, unhygienic. This process is depending on the location. So it's not one size fits all. But we believe that students are able to live in smaller spaces, so we should be able to make it work.
Well, I suggest you to consider other locations, not precisely Mexico City, because could be easier maybe in other states in Mexico. Okay.
What is, have you planned the strategy to scale the solution? The scale, escalation.
Yeah, we just try to start focusing on Mexico City and later on the whole country, and then even expand into other markets. But this will be very expensive. That's why we are first trying Mexico City as our test market to determine if our business model is feasible.
Okay, and when will you consider that your project is succeed? I mean, in which moment you will know that the project has traction?
I think it when we are see the people that will download our app and when see activities and between the landlords and the students, I think we have like the verification that the deal is closed. I think we have an like it's depend on the student that we register to an app, and I think we every month we want to see like we started like in 2,000 students and then furthermore, and then each month we want to raise the amount of people that register and sign the contract in our app. So I think it's the pace we want to see.
Okay, and do you know the costs of acquisition of a client? Do you know how much you will have to pay to get a client, a customer? The cost of acquisition. I mean, how much money you will have to invest for each client for you to come?
Okay, I think it's something like, I know it in dollars, it's like I think $20, something like this for a client with the marketing and social media and influencer in the furthermore in the future.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, another question was left for you in the comment section of the YouTube broadcast. It reads, right now, there is a housing crisis in Mexico City, with house prices and rents becoming unaffordable. Taking this into account, what is, for you, fair renting price?
Separate rooms.
For me personally, a fair rental price depends on each person. It depends on how much their parents make, and if they have parents that can help them, support them through college. So it's I can't give a number because it's something for every person. There are many different situations with many different incomes. So it's like, it has to be individual. I cannot assess that, at least not yet.
Okay, thank you. Well, congratulations, Team Sarmal. What would Mexican food be without guacamole? Let's meet our last team, formed by Dorina Zagorskaya, Amnon Kochen, and Jimena Cruz. They will be presenting the project Adulthood 101.
So it's actually an honor to be the last one to present, because as all of you know, the first ones and the last ones are always say in the memory. But for this specific topic, I would like you to remember how you spend your time at high school. So remember, you had like hard times, you were not prepared for the exams, you were like very lazy to go to school, just sleep. You wanted to drop out as a joke, but you still went to school because you knew that you need to do this to make your future more bright and more to be more successful in the future. But sadly, not everyone has a possibility to do this. As you can see on this slide, 25% of Mexicans between 15 and 29 years old do not study or work. So the problem is, in the society in Mexico, they're called needy. Needy is actually an English word for need, and it means not employed, educated, or trained. So, and in Spanish, it means like the same.
Ni estudia ni trabaja. That's nine in Spanish. So,
sí, gracias, Jimena. Yeah, so basically, this has a lot of problems. This creates a lot of problems for the Mexican society, because these kids, they don't know what to do in their life because they are high school dropouts. They don't have a degree to do something else, and they are all one of the first places they can go is basically cartels. So this is one of the problems that who is facing, and another problem that they need to be handling with is they are considered to be underqualified for any kind of job that it's not legal.
So we're explaining a bit more about this underqualified thing, and also about another problem. Now, these people do not have some skills they should have, but it's also a stigma from society, because, well, when you drop out of school, it's normally like, oh no, he didn't or she didn't succeed in life. But that shouldn't be like the only thing. But before, we're going to explain a bit more. So who are the youngsters who normally are in this situation? Well, they normally are part of low-income households. Now we're identifying that that's a specific part of a socioeconomic situation. Then they didn't complete compulsory education. Like, that depends on each country, but in Mexico, like, the law says that we should all go onto the high school. We should graduate high school, sorry. And this isn't happening because we're watching that they are 15 years old. At 15 years old, we are not done with high school. So that's a problem. And well, another important trait that could be then studied and analyzed is that women are 4 times more prone to get in this situation and drop out of high school. So that's the data, like a bit of important information. But now, why are they considered unqualified? So the fact is that school normally does not provide us with the skills we need for everyday life. We have like maths and chemistry and history, and yeah, it's important. And you can come to your family and say like, oh, today I learned that the Amazonas is the largest river in the world. So yeah, that's cool. But when you have to face like the adult life later, you don't have all the skills that you should. And that's a situation that happens all the time, not only in Mexico, but there's also this misconception that when you don't go to university, you are not capable of doing things, that you are not as valuable as others. So that's the stigma. And yeah, you don't have some hard skills that you should have, that you maybe become or not become, get, sorry, but you can develop another soft skills. And there's where we want to make we want to make a change, but before explaining what this change is about, Darina is going to tell you more about this data, and please.
Yeah, we would just like you to have a look at the statistics that show that 28% of this Mexican children in the age between 15 and 19 are searching for a job, but they aren't able to find a suitable one. So it proves our point. And 63 of them, who do find a job, they end up in informal labor. So it's always illegal activities or going just the very wrong direction. But as Jimena already said, this is the moment when we come in with our solution. Our solution is Adulthood 101. It's a program, an educational program that supports the high school dropouts, develop the required skills for their future jobs. So I think all of us know what 101 stands for. So it's like the most basic knowledge that you can get in anything. And this is actually what we want to provide. So we are not only providing the high school dropouts and with an educational program, but what we also want to do is help them when consulting and supporting them during the whole job finding process, because yeah, it's also not easy at all, especially in our modern society. And what we also want to help them with is guidance through entering this early adulthood years, because this is the border between entering like the young adults phase. So we want to be there to support them and make them believe in themselves and in their bright future.
So now we're going to say what makes us unique.
Hi, everyone. So basically what makes us unique, we have like 4 key factors. The first one is the competitive advantage. We have no direct competitors. The one who provide this kind of service, they give it like more private school, and our audience cannot afford those tuition fees. The second thing is like narrowly targeted customer group. For now, we are focused on Mexico. Before we are going to the quantities, we want to focus on the quality. Afterwards, we are planning to expand our service and get a wider scale. We are also socially oriented. We are know and aware to the problem. This is a relevant problem, and we are willing to be the solution. And of course, individual customer approach. We want to keep them close to us. We're measuring ourselves if they want to keep in touch with us, if they are looking for some further collaboration.
So now, shortly, what are we going to do to get this program? So we're going to offer courses with a focus on different fields. There are many like problem solving and decision making, home administration, social skills, and mindfulness. That's like the basic curricula. Then who and how, we're going to, as we say, take small groups, and we're going to keep track on them. That's how we are going to measure our impact. Then we're going to reach through schools, referral marketing, like mouth to mouth, and Portal del Empleo, for example, it's in our country, Mexico, and social media. And we're going to have a rented space to give these classes.
So basically, our market, let's take a look about the customer. First of all, they are Mexican. The length of the age is between 15 to 19 years old, with a potential to influence the other specific ages that we talk about. All of the genders, high school dropout, they came from a low income, they have bad socioeconomic.
Yeah. So apparently our time is up, but still we were prepared for this, and we created an overview of our proposition. So on this slide, you can see every piece of information that you might need to get to know our project. And yeah, this is it.
And thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now let's listen to what the judges have to tell.
Hello, thanks for your presentation. It was good. But could you please give us like 2 minutes of what we missed that we weren't able to see?
Could you share the screen,
Thank
please?
you.
Yeah, thank you.
So basically what you missed is the most important information, and it's revenue streams. So we consider ourselves as a non-profit organization because we are aware that, yeah, we can do a lot of profit with the customers who are in need of money themselves. So that's why we want to start as a non-profitable organization. And as a non-profitable organization, there are some ways how you can get money, like donations. Then individual contributions, sponsorship and investment, grants, and earned income. For example, the first two streams are from non-profitable organizations and non-governmental, and also from individuals. Sponsorship and investments, we thought about enterprises who will invest in their future working forces. So basically what we offer them, people who will be willing to work for them, and they give us money. And income, we do understand this as a startup, we still need to have some additional money to invest, like in key resources like stationery or renting an apartment. So that's why we thought about selling our materials of our courses, or we wanted to rent an apartment that we rented ourselves, like for co-working cases. Yeah, and maybe what also important to you to know is how we want to teach the courses. So basically we want to do it with volunteers. First, our idea was to do it with experts, but there are a lot of things we need to consider about working with experts. So that's why we thought maybe we can make people happy in fulfilling their wishes. So who are these people? Volunteers. So what is that? Because we should help the world. So what we offer them, the happiness of, and fulfillment of their wishes, and they I don't,
yeah, just so you can see it like more organized, we have like a small schema or schema, how you pronounce. Wait a second, please. No, to the other way. Okay, so this is like a bit like the schema we made. So what Dorina just explained, it's like enterprises and NGOs and NPOs. They can give us like a financial sponsorship, or like another type of organizational help. And in return, for enterprises, it could be the working force. And for NGOs, it could be like someone who will be willing to volunteer with them, or social service. In the case of government, we expect to have like funding, and we could have like cooperation to solve one of the biggest problems in our country since many years ago. And volunteers, as Darina said, is like more this thing of fulfillment and personal development and growth. So that's it.
Okay, congratulations. And I have a question. Which is the main difference between some governmental programs that there already exist, that they already pay young people to work in the enterprise to get their first job, and for the enterprise they can, use this as a tax, so for don't pay tax. Yeah. So there are several programs like this in Mexico. Which is your main difference between them?
You can start. Okay, well, I think that, yeah, we made some research and that exists, but I think a basic part, and I don't know if we mentioned it, but we offered the safe space that I think the government is not giving. Like, I mean, they say like, okay, we help you, but we want you to get out of the situation because it's bad. And they do not understand why it's bad. It's just like, I think this stigma, like you're a stereotype because you went out of high school and you're not good for the society. So I think our main point is that it's not your fault. So we understand that you have another situation that led you to that way, but we want to make it differently. We want to understand you, and that's the part of not only giving the skills like teamwork, and not only giving you like the administrational skills, but also like the mindfulness part or other social skills are important. Because for the government, in my opinion, maybe it would be subjective, but the thing is like, I'm just going to give you a training and that's it. And there my work is done. But for us, it's, yeah, you got to work, you got a job, sorry, but we want to give to keep on track with you.
So we want to know if that that job is making you happy. We want to know if you will be willing to help us to prevent this from other people to happen the same situation, to have the same situation. So I think it's basically this safe space part.
Yeah, and maybe one more point to that. We want to go like very ultra locally. So we know that there are organizations that help like around the country, but as you asked every group this question, so how do we measure, was it successful? So this is also our question. So how do these big organizations measure that they really help this one specific person find a chance to have a bright future? So we would like really to start very locally, like to make sure that at least like the first group of people with this 18 people, that they really did manage to find a better way to finance, to have a stable financial situation. See.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have how much time the program will be? I mean, you have one person in the first month, 2 months, 3 months. How many months it will take you to take this person to get a job?
Yes. So we were really thinking about like how long should the classes be in this question as well. But we thought it doesn't make any sense to make them wait 8 months, for example, to land a job, because they still need to have this financial support. So the pilot idea that we have right now is to have 3 months course, 2 or 3 times a week, and do it as a double shift. So you can visit classes in the morning or in the evening. It depends on, maybe you already have, maybe a person already has something to where he works. So our idea was to not do it too long and not to do it too short. So we thought about 3 months.
Yeah, this is not a question, it's a suggestion.
Yeah.
There is a lack of programming persons not only in Mexico, in many countries. So probably you will have to contact startups, or you will have to contact programming schools for to have a special program for these youngsters, to have programming knowledge, and to get a job, a good job, and to have more opportunities, and try to focus, because having jobs of many things are going to cause you to get frustrated. I mean, you have to focus on what kind of youngsters. I mean, you have focused on what youngsters you want, but what kind of jobs you will offer, it's the main focus that you will have to get. And also try to focus on revenue. I mean, how much money you will spend every month to help these persons versus the amount of money you can get with it. I mean, it will be, and it is a non-profit, because you will need more money every month, and you will have to focus on the line of the money. Yes, otherwise it's going to be really, really difficult. Yes.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you. It could be good to know, for example, which skills are you going to develop with this program, and if you are thinking about how much not only money but also time will take to you to create this program, or to hire people that could develop this program. And maybe you should research a little bit about the certifications of this acknowledgement, and how they will fit with the jobs you are offering as well. So there should be a match.
The idea is to give them the education and find a job without a degree. So basically, we made a research about the most require skills that they need in the market. For example, now in Mexico, and we found out very thing that can be vital for them. So like, I don't know, if they will not get the job, they will at least have the home administration or social skills. So like standing in front of people, they will know how to calculate their taxes, not in expert way, but they will know how to manage their funds.
Yeah, so we want really to offer them a general set of skills, and this is why we also want to work with already existing non-governmental or non-profitable organizations, for example, churches, because there are also people who are experts in specific fields, but are still willing to help. So yeah, we thought that it would be also a good idea, because we definitely will find certified experts in this kind of organizations. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Right.
¿Alguna más preguntas?
Well, congratulations. I was wondering of what kind of strategy are you going to implement to motivate people to come to you? Because what would be the interest if I have all the programs, no? They have scholarships, the ninis have nowadays scholarships, or they have other programs from the government to do other things. So how are you going to convince people that you are the ones?
Okay, so first of all, we are going to focus on their main needs. We are going to create a family program, not a family, but a family vibe, okay, to make them feel comfortable. One of their main needs is not being judged, okay, and to give them a respect and believe in them in order to develop their personal growth. And I think this is what makes us unique, because we are not only come to give an information or to give some source of skills. We are going to give them the belief, they are going to give them the option to get another opportunities after they are drop out.
And also, I think it's the type of jobs we want them to get. It's not only that we want them to have the money, like, yeah, I mean, if someone's in need, they're going to take maybe the first job they see, but we want them to really know how to look for a good job. And the enterprises with which we are going to work, we want them to recognize these guys, these girls. So it's not only like, yeah, give them the job and leave them in the same position forever. I think we want them to grow in an enterprise, or we want them to grow in different enterprises, it could be, but it's not getting stuck in just one level. We want them to give them skills that are going to help them progress, I think. And it's also that we want them to get a better socioeconomic situation at the end. So yeah, I think that's the impact is the skills they're going to get, but at the end, we also want them to help them in their personal growth and their economic situation. So yeah.
And one more point to this. So we decided to do a really old-fashioned way of reaching out to customers, because we assume that these are kind of a category of people who don't have access to the internet. So that's why we are not doing promotions on social media. So our first point, how they know about us, is the school, where they get a news, okay, you need to drop out, or so. And we think that if school already shows like, okay, so you took the decision, it's your decision, you can follow it, but still, if you need help, there is a place where you won't feel judged, where they can help you find a path for you, because now you are confused. So we really hope that this mouth-to-mouth communication, this recommendation, or just like, yeah, just this, that it will make them believe that, okay, this is maybe the people, these are people who might help me. So.
Thank you.
Nicely done, Guacamole. Congratulations. This time, no questions were left on YouTube, but we do have another one from our audience. So let's listen to it.
Go ahead, Memo.
Okay, thank you very much. Congratulations. It's not a question, it's really a suggestion. Regarding first what you said about governmental programs, what is the difference between what you're proposing and like jóvenes construyendo el futuro, whatever that is. And I think the main difference, looking at your presentation, is accountability. And that's the biggest problem with those programs, that they don't have a follow-up after they give the scholarship, whatever they're giving. They don't have this accompaniment. And I think that's the area of opportunity for you. And having a kind of a mentoring program is as important as getting the skills. Now, this cannot be done in a huge scale, because following up people requires attention, time, and you cannot do it with a huge group. But it also kind of clicks with your idea of getting mouth-to-mouth publicity, right? And the best publicity would be that this program really works. It's not something like you just get money from the government for a couple of years and that's it. I know people who have undergone this program and they are very successful right now. I want to go as well. So that is my main comment. And again, congratulations for your project.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all 7 teams for making it this far. I think we can all agree that you did an excellent job. So let's have a round of applause for all of you. You deserve it. Now, the honorable members of the jury will have some time to discuss about the projects you presented today and to recognize the most remarkable ones. In the meantime, we are going to enjoy a coffee break. We'll be back at 1:20. Okay, so make sure you grab a cup of coffee and see you in a bit.